you say that you haven't worked there, but there was the opportunity to be part of the Cruiserweight Classic, and that didn't pan out. But were you close to doing that?
Yes, I was, but not really. Like nowhere near, to be honest. Just like it was just phone calls. It was just like Regal called me while I was filming a commercial for Virgin Trains or something like that, maybe. And then he was just like, do you fancy doing the Cruiserweight Classic? We have this tournament happening. You got to be under 205 pounds. And I was just like, I mean, I'm interested, yeah, but like, I am going to New Japan in April. And like, there was nothing signed, like saying that I was like legally New Japan's property at that time. It was just, yeah, I'm just doing this. And they said, would you have a problem if I did New Japan? And then like Regal just drops the one line where he's like, oh, let me ask Triple H and I'll get right back to you. And me being a kid, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, so then it was just one of those things where Regal asked Triple H. He was like, yeah, I'm fine with him doing New Japan. I'm fine with him doing the Super Juniors. And then he can come to the Cruiserweight Classic and then he's free to do what he wants to do. But then as it started getting closer to April, yeah, that's when I debuted, April. There was a call in February, or no, March, in fact. And they said that they wanted me full time and that I would have to go over there and be a part of the system. And I kind of wasn't ready for that for me. So it was a case of in March of 2016, it was a choice by going, WWE, New Japan, and TNA. And TNA for me just wasn't an option at the time. I just didn't want to go there. And it was between these two. And I talked to my mum, and obviously my mum's like, oh, well, I know WWE. I don't know what a New Japan is. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, but I know. Like, I know where Finn Balor came from. I know where, like, all these guys have come from. And at one point, they did something in WWE. Not in New Japan. So in my mind, my best bet is to go there, learn the tricks of the trade, and then see what happens. And then within my first year, I was like, this is the place for me. Like, everything, like, this is it. And I told Regal, I was just like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not ready to sign on. And then he was like, what do you want to do the Cruiserweight Classic anyway? And I was like, I don't really want to do something unless if I'm 100% committed to it. I'm just not. So I'd rather just go to New Japan. And they were completely understanding. And there has been phone calls since, but I'm just not interested. Like, especially what the current product is, I'm just not interested at all. It's just, until things start to change, I don't think I will ever be interested in going to WWE at all.
It would be interesting for you to be part of the Cruiserweight Classic if you weren't going to win the Cruiserweight Classic. And if you weren't going to sign there long term, that would mean you'd have to go in, maybe win a match.
Probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't. It would probably be like first round, get out.
Yeah, I don't know if that even makes sense.
Well, it depends on what you do with it. I mean, it's just like, once again, I don't run the company. It's just like the interview that he had with Austin Aries. They're McDonald's. Like, do you know what I mean? They are the, like, we've made 1 million of these burgers. We don't need someone to tell us how to change the sauces or anything along those lines. We just need you to do the burgers.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready for that yet because, like, I'm ready to experiment with Will Ospreay. Like, the aerial assassin is the bracket that you constantly see with Will Ospreay, but I'm willing to change it. I'm willing to gamble and be like, you know what? I don't want to wear the coat anymore. Like, I'm not going to be the assassin anymore. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And that's the beauty of the position that I am in, is that I can decide what Will Ospreay is. Where the moment I go to WWE, it's kind of like a yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. And when you're there, I think it is I think there are a lot of guys signed to WWE who just signed just because it is the WWE. And like,
sure.
Like at the end of it, it's their choice. They have a family. There are certain reasons, but I think it's just like there are guys there like who are coming up in the Indies, and they were the hottest thing at the time. Like, and then all of a sudden it was a boom, and this. What are they doing now? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't follow the product, but I know other people do. And at the end of it, payday's a payday to some people. But I'm 27 in May. I'm more than willing to play around this character until I'm ready to be like, you know what? I'm willing to roll the dice and let WWE take creative control over my character. But money is nothing to me. Like, as long as I'm getting by, like, as long as I can pay my mortgage and I can feed my family, I'm happy just being me and just smiling and just showing up to work. What do you guys want to do today? I don't want to be like handed a script, read this line and read it exactly word for word. You can't improvise. You can't do this. I'm just when you pin someone, if the hard camera's here, you need to do that weird float over thing to stare down the camera. Like I hate that so much. It's just like just pin him.
You know, not to, bring CM Punk back into this, but I think he raises a good point for himself when he says the longer I'm away, the higher my stock will rise. And I think for you, the longer you stay away from WWE, the more interest I think there will be, the higher your stock will get.
As long as I can, keep up the row of matches that I can do. Like if I can keep doing the matches that I was doing in 2019 and 2020, which it's a rough start because like I've only had two singles matches right now.
You've also already had 2 5-star matches this year, and yeah. Congratulations. That's amazing. You've had more 5-star matches this year than TNA's had in their entire existence.
Well, I'm very thankful for that, but I'm enjoying Impact now, especially. I'm very much enjoying what they're doing.
Me too, yeah.
Like it's really nice seeing a load of my friends over there again, just doing what they're doing. It's really good once again. But like, dude, I'm just as long as I can keep doing really good matches, but I just don't want it to be like, oh, Will's gonna do a good match. I would like to experiment and just be like, you know what, I want to try a new character. I want to try something because I really did enjoy my last run in Progress where I kind of played the bad guy. And I think a lot of people didn't think I could do it. And I really did I never like to boost my own ego, but you got to believe in yourself in some opportunities.
Of course.
I really did enjoy that last run. I really enjoyed my last run of just being a bad guy. I was with my best friend, Paul Robinson, and I was just like, this is so fun. And then there's that part of you just going, I do think I could do it in New Japan. But right now, I am loving what I'm doing. Like there's like the way that I've connected with the Japanese people. It's so cool. Like, dude, I love telling this story, and sorry if it drags out. My apologies.
Please, no, tell away. What else we got to do?
One day in Nagoya, I was just having the worst day. Just woke up wrong side of the bed. I was just really sad and like just really depressed that day. And I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna walk around this big city in Nagoya. I'm just gonna have a walk around. And I was walking back to the hotel. There just happened to be just a big group of fans wanting pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, go on. I was like smiling. And all of a sudden, I just felt someone grab my leg. And I was like, oh. And like Japanese people are very reserved. Like they're very like, just respects personal space and whatever. But this little Japanese baby grabbed my leg and hugged me. I was like, oh, what are you doing? And then she looks up and goes like that. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, can I? And she was like, yes. So I picked up this Japanese baby and she just gave me the biggest hug in the world. And I was like, oh my God, this is adorable. I was just like, this is great. Someone's got the photo somewhere and it's somewhere out there in the world, but I can't find it. But it was one of those days where I was just like, they should not like, I don't know if you've ever been to Japan.
No, I've never been to Japan.
I would sit on a packed train, and there'll be an empty seat right next to me, and they won't sit there because they're so like reserved. And like the fact that like this child has kind of like looked at me and it's been like, oh, it's like one of her own. This is a wrestler that I'm watching on TV.
Yeah.
And like, as for me, I kind of want to be the adopted son in Japan. I want to be like they're kind of like their adopted boy. So
well, I've always wanted to go to Japan, so I guess I got to go January 4th for you and CM Punk.
Yeah, if it happens.
No, when it happens. When it happens.
Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, CVV Clips. And as the name suggests, the clips from my longer conversations are going to live here. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on those little nuggets of goodness that we're going to have here.